What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Drementfh, and welcome to Thorium Gaming, and we're back with Nightly Valor, our attempts to bring the lights of the Lady of the Lake to the entirety of the old world. Or at least what we can save of it now that the forces of chaos have shown up en masse and are really threatening certain things. So we'll do a quick overview like we always do before we jump right into things. We got Lord Adadon sitting up north, prepared to deal with any Norscan invasions, because they might get a little bit bold now that they've got their Chaos buddies coming to help them. We do have some forces in the Forest of Athaloran against the Wood Elves, but I don't think we're going to need that. We are improving with our relations with the Wood Elves now that we have the new technology that was released with one of the patches while we've been doing this Let's Play that gives us better reputation with them. Dame Yelena is sitting around Sarsasone, chilling, making sure we can defend our mid-ground. We do, of course, have the fight down at Skavenblight that is technically human-controlled right now.
Not likely.
I would love to be able to wait at least 7 more turns to start sieging that out, but I think we're going to have to actually do that fight this time. I mean, we have the forces for it.
Do you know who I am?
Lord Phoenix, King Leoncoeur, and Lord Grimaldus, of course. So we've got 2 of our major tough guys in there, and we got our king, which is good. Where I'm worried right now is down south we have the forces of chaos gathering on the coast. We are kind of hurting for cash a little bit, and if we lose some of these cities, well, it's a bad situation. We're going to be defending El Haik as much as we physically can, and to that regard we have Lord Yogi sitting there waiting, and we have reinforcements coming in from the east in the form of Lord Eddie. It may not be enough to completely bash out one of these Chaos stacks. I mean, they do have Chaos Warriors, like Chaos Warriors Halberds. They're pretty tough stacks, and I'm hoping that we can divert some of them away from us to other things. Lashiek's going to get hit by what looks like a Chaos Sorcerer Lord, which is definitely a good thing. Anything that doesn't hit us and hits technically our enemies is a good thing. Now, we can and we have to be willing to sacrifice everything down in the desert regions. And if it looks like we're going to, we'll have to pull our 2 armies back across the channel here, up towards Magritta, and hang on to it there. Let's see, our inherited hero that we've been kind of just leaving as he is. We're going to send him up north a little bit more, scout things out. We could upgrade Bibali, but it's kind of a waste right now. That's pretty much all we can do this turn. Now, is the king actually building siege equipment here for this turn? Not quite. So let's get another set of siege towers, and then we'll take on that fight. I know I've been promising it for a while. If these guys move, we're definitely fighting it before they can get there. And we may want to spawn the Green Knight down around here if we're able to. So, the king is there. He's our primary general. So we'll see how it goes down. But let's let the other nations go and see what they end up doing. And we forgot to move Lord Eddie manually, so we get to watch him trundle across the southern Badlands as he's getting into the desert territory. And Sarfurix, which I completely spaced about, he's headed all the way up north to see if he can check on any of the land-based armies that might be coming down from up there. Not entirely sure if Archaon and the Change of Ways, and Sigvald, and the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth Lord are up there. Kolek Suneater? Did I finally remember his name? It's possible. Well, seeing the Empire hitting Tilean is a good thing too. It's kind of what we were hoping for the last time. And yes, they're taking out Tilean cities, so that's a definite advantage. We want to see them push against Chaos as well. Still amazes me right now that they have so many rocket batteries and great swords and so many armies. I mean, they've got 5 rocket batteries and at least 2 armies. That's a lot of rockets. Just a lot of rockets. I know it's kind of hyperbolic to keep mentioning it, but they have a ton of war machines, and they keep using them all over the place. Volkmar's army doesn't have a lot of infantry, but it has a lot of handgunners. See what I mean? 2 steam tanks, 2 rocket batteries, lots of great swords. The Empire is rocking some very, very powerful troops, and if they can get into the fight with Chaos, that would be brilliant. Their armies are definitely in a position where they can do something about it. Ours are a little bit underpowered right now, to be honest. We've had to cut back a little bit since our vows got reset, which is part and parcel for why we're having cash flow issues, if you want to say that. But we'll work that out as we go. I mean, there's not really anything that we can do right now that's going to cause us too much problems. If we have to fall back and defend Bretonnian soil, we will make sure that Bretonnia herself weathers the storm of chaos that's coming in. Not ideal, but it is a good way to look at things. I mean, our errantry war stuff, yeah, we've got to be willing to sacrifice it. That's a lot of Slayers too, which is fitting for Ungrim Ironfist's army. He is the Slayer King of Karakadrin. Yes, pretty sure that's it. So him having a bunch of Slayers is probably a good idea. And I do love the fact that they put the ironclads for the dwarves as their sailing vessels. It's the small little details that kind of rock in this entire series. Creative Assembly did go all out when it came to certain things, and a lot of them are beautiful. It's a minor point, and in general it's a minor thing overall. They could all just be generic stock boats, but by giving it that little racial touch, that personal touch to each one of the factions in the game, it's inspiring to see. I mean, even the hero boats are dedicated towards their particular race's aesthetic. Elven boats are small, sleek, I think they're two-sailed little skiffs, and they are beautiful to look at. The dwarves, of course, have all their ironclads. The Empire has the big galleons, the classic style that you'd remember seeing from our own history. The Bretonnians have the French-style galleons. It's just great. And the Elven great ships are literally their eagle ships. And the Dark Elves, of course, have their dark sailing ships and their black arcs, both of which look fantastic on the campaign map. Now, it'd be nice to see if the High Elves can take out Taurus Share, kind of beat back the Dark Elves just a little bit. Because if they can, that's almost enough temptation for us to take Lord Eddie from Corone, go over to the Elven Isle, and deal with some of the Druchii. It's a lot of army stacks built up around Lothern. I guess some of them are only generals, but I do see they're waving their swords, which is their recruitment pose. So they're probably going to have a couple army stacks coming out of there pretty quick, which will allow us to do a lot of stuff. Oh, I was hoping that was going to be the assault on Taurus Share, but I guess he's just going to move to the water and maybe try to draw them out. And our new friends in the Last Defenders, we got Krogar. That's a lot of war beasts. Got two ancient Stegodons, Bastillodon with a Revivification Crystal, Spark in English, and a Feral Carnosaurus. So that's a lot of heavy hitters right there. And the Skink Chieftain on board a Stegodon himself. I don't know why words are escaping me today. They just kind of are. And a Druchii Assassin. Well, a Cainite Assassin anyway. Wonder if he's going to cause any problems for our friends in the Azure. So there's Malekith. Now, is Marathi going to come out and fight? Oh, and Enthal goes down, but it still weakens the Dark Elves, which is overall the point. If they fight it out enough, weaken each other. Like, the High Elves should be just torquing the Druchii that are on their shores, especially if they have the Everqueen active right now, because she suffers while Ultuan's not owned by all High Elven people. We got the two Kings of Khemri that we're kind of working on an alliance or a truce or something with. Though it pains me to ally with the undead. Now they're at war with the followers of Nagash too. I wonder why they're not pushing, because they really could right now. That's the Tomb King that went through and just dropped a whole bunch of armies. Granted, he's got a Kemrian War Sphinx, so that as a mound is kind of overwhelming. You guys will notice too that up on the channel I've gone a couple of Eve videos. I'm going to be doing a few more of those in the upcoming weeks and everything, because the Atrine project is going swimmingly and I'm really happy with how it's going, so why not carry on the roll with that? So if you play Eve Online, you're more than welcome to join us. If you haven't tried it yet, it is free to play. So might as well come join us, have some fun. It is spreadsheets online in some cases. Takes a while to get into, and it does take a little bit of effort every day to actually get the most out of it, but it is a fun game. So you don't really have anything to lose by giving it a shot. Now, where are you guys going? Doesn't really make sense that you'd be going onto the ocean, but then again, you're dwarves. We don't really need to know what you do. And this is the faction we need to see what they're going to do, because it really depends on what Tilean does. That's what we can do. Are they going after Magritta? They very well could be going after Magritta. So I guess we're going to have to push the Skavenblight Assault and then quick march our two lords there back to Magritta to counter or head off that army. Teotihuacan's doing something. Guessing that's a skink chieftain lord. Not really sure what the Rakaf dynasty is going to be doing in general, but they're sitting around. Now we gotta watch the forces of chaos that are definitely assaulting the shore. They just took out one city. If they sit in that reef and damage themselves, I'm okay with that. Gives us time to get our reinforcement army down there. They are spread out a fair bit. We might be able to pick them off one by one. And Sartosa is under assault. I don't know if it got taken or not, but it is under assault now. Being sieged by vampire army. That is a lot of handgunners and a lot of greatswords. One of our armies can definitely take it. We'll leave this till the end of our turn, or towards the end of our turn. We're going to have to assault Skavenblight. Iron Rock? Are we able to build the special building in Iron Rock? Does not look like it. But we could possibly upgrade it. I think we'll skip it for now. Castle Baston. Yeah, we'll upgrade Baston. It does hurt us financially, but we can deal with that. Now let's try and summon the Green Knight. Grey Knight. Thinking 40k. The right place. There we go. Our great hero, the Green Knight, and we will throw him into Phoenix's army. And King Lewin, we're going to go in and fight this battle out. I got a feeling that a lot of our knights are going to die before they hit the battlements and are able to fully carry through the gate, but we're going to have to push for it anyway. There's not really much we can do. I don't really want to use our special foot squires as an assault force on the gates, but I'd rather throw them into a siege tower. We're definitely gambling on a 6. Definitely worth it, so we start off with 21. Alright, let's start our deployment. And yes, they're on... That should be better. Our swordsmen. Let's get those shieldmen. Should drop that. There we go. That looks a little bit better. We'll swap all of our knights here into the lance formation, because they're going to be charging up afterwards. Now we do have 2 trebuchets, which means we can probably take out the fort towers without too much trouble. Let's make them a group. Our Pegasus Knights we're going to use to get into the fight as quickly as possible. King Lewin's going to do the same. We want our bowmen up front as much as we can. Put 1 siege tower on this side, 1 on this side. We need that battering ram in the center. So maybe those peasant bowmen. So it's going to be a little bit of kind of screwing around to see how we can get things done. Get our priestesses out over here. We'll start and immediately pause. So we'll have them attack that fort tower. You to take on those crossbowmen. Get our siege towers and our battering ram going. We'll have our other swordsmen go up that wall. Our Pegasus Knights. Oh, it's really tough. There's not a lot on the walls that I want to take, but I don't want to leave anything in the back here either. Our Pegasus Knights would get shot to all heck if we leave them. So what we'll do is these handgunners are going to feel the wrath of some knights. And King Lewin, we're going to get you to drop on those handgunners as well. Sar PC is on a Pegasus, so he can go in there too. Get our damsels to move up, and our archers sit there. All of our reinforcements are starting to show up. So we're just going to send them as quickly as we can over to the walls. Get the rest of these archers in. Group them with the rest of that group. See about getting as many people as we can up on the walls.
Orders. Legate.
It looks like our Pegasus Knights are doing a hell of a job up on the walls, and our siege towers haven't even got there yet. Is that Grimaldus that's right there? That is Grimaldus. That tower should be down here pretty quick. Won't be taking any more shots from it. Send the Green Knight in. And he does have the Dolores Blade. And there goes a tower. Now with any luck, the artillery is going to do some major damage. Now we're just kind of relying on that gate to be destroyed to see how it goes in.
The Grail vow is mine.
And Grimaldus is just tearing into these guys.
Slay them. Your command. Bretonia needs me. It shall be.
The advantages of lordly characters on mounts. Our Pegasus Knights are still doing okay. But now that the gates are down, let's get our knights. Get them to charge through.
Spare man at arms. Have at 'em.
Once our knights get up from the back there, it'll be an awesome little situation. This is actually going a lot better than I thought it would. Green Knight can use a Dolores Blade to start doing some real damage, because it gives him a lot of attack.
Spare man at arms!
Twisting knives! Charge!
Yes! Honor and glory!
I know we're taking some leadership off the front, but if we can get our heroes and our lord, our king, to take care of those mortars, we are in a much happier place. Especially since they're essentially unguarded right now. This is going to be really bad for you. And now they can't fire. Let's go down and watch Bequee come in.
Shields!
Okay, so we've taken the walls over here.
By the lady! For the king! For our lady! We are ready! Squares!
This is going a heck of a lot better than I thought it would.
We are ready! Guardian! King Lewin!
Mortar crews are getting themselves a little beat up.
The lady wills it! For the king! King Lewin Leoncoeur!
With the gates busted down,
Biggest knights! Smite them! Knights of the realm!
actually start breaking off some of these knightly groups to
Do you beat?
go after some of the units that are still here. But I think we're going to win this, because a lot of them are starting to break. And there we go. So we lost very few troops, all things considered. Just over 260, looks like. Quick math. And they lost thousands. So, yeah, that's definitely a win. And we've taken Skavenblight, which, of course, we will convert to the Worship of the Lady. And give us a little bit more income, too. It was a fairly prosperous city, and now it's rightfully in the hands.
The lady wills it!
Alright, so they lost a couple of heroes. We cannot afford to put a
My strength and
Grail
wisdom
Chapel in
are
there
yours.
just yet.
Onward! Protector of the realm!
Let's take our two generals over here and book them back towards Margarita. Alright, so we have the Hippogriff. We've got all that. Let's give Grimaldus some full plate armor. I thought we'd already done that, but apparently that's one of the things that got reset.
King Lewin Leoncoeur.
King Lewin. Give you the Army of the King, because you have more knights than any of our other generals. And Sar PC will give Deadly Onslaught now that he's finally got to it. And his vows, he needs to rank up 5 times after taking the pledge, so we might get him immortality by the old method. And Skavenblight does have a commandment available. So we'll give it the commandment that gets rid of some of this Skaven corruption. It already has a tavern, well, a coaching inn fully. Should go down. So that was a fairly decent fight. Now let's go over to Lord Eddie, wherever he is. I believe it's Eddie.
Blessings of the lady.
We need you to get to El Haik as quickly as possible, so Move your butts. Keep those guys marching as much as you can. I'm wondering if this will discourage this Tilean army to fall back instead of coming to fight us. Love to see Sartosa fall to those vampires, but probably won't see it. I guess the only thing we can do right now is kind of hand it off to our opponents and see what they do.
My reputation precedes me.
Adadon, your army is fairly solid. Don't want to risk it just yet. I know you've been sitting there forever, but let's pass it off to the other nations and see what they do. Furyx, of course, headed up north. See what's up there. How the Chaos forces are going. The Imperial Reichsmarschall. Now, is the Empire going to come southwest and fight off the forces of Chaos that are fighting us, or are they going to just consolidate and hold their borders? You can never tell with the Empire. Sometimes they're awesome individuals to help you out, sometimes they're not, and you can never really know if the Empire is going to be your friend or not when you're playing as Bretonnia. So we'll see. I don't like the fact that the Empire has, like, Barrack Var and all that. That should be in Dwarven hands. But I do understand what has happened. The Dwarves were getting their butts kicked, and then started finally push back when we got over there and started helping them with the Orcs. I'm really worried about what's going to happen with Kislev. They're at war with the Dwarves. They're fighting against Chaos. Kislev might get their butts kicked. And if they do, it's going to be a long, long, long way to reestablish human control and preferably Lady of the Lake control over those northern territories. It's a pretty far hike for our troops. It's the middle of the Empire, technically, because like Talabheim and a few of the others that were in there. Ostermark. I can see their symbols, I just can't remember them offhand. They're usually where Kislev is now, so yeah, there's that. I wonder where Ungrim's headed. He might be coming down to fight Chaos too, and those Giant Slayers would be good for it. So might Alaric, actually. Could it be that the Dawi are actually coming to help us humans? Well, they're probably helping the Empire because they have long-standing pacts with the Empire. Well, except for Carrick-Ziflin, that's in the Grey Mountains because they've got a long history with us Bretonnians, but it's not a great history. I thought his name was Lorgar for a second. I got 40k on the brain, and if it was Lorgar, I would have said hashtag blame Lorgar, because everything was Lorgar's fault. Well, technically it was Erebus's fault, but Lorgar perpetuated it all. First heretic. Because we know the Warriors of Chaos in this have at least one army. I'd like to find out where they are and what they're up to. Norska's weaker than us right now, which is a little weird. I mean, the Empire, the Dwarves, and the High Elves are definitely stronger. They have way more forces than we do, but they're also kind of husbanding them in weird places. Oh, Techless, don't go and get your butt kicked again, please. Because if we all remember the last time we saw Techless move towards Marathi, Millikith came in, helped her out, and we ended up with a very wounded Techless and an entire Elven army stack that went bye-bye. Those horned ones? I think those are horned ones. Yes, they are. Stronger versions of Cold One Riders. That's more ancient Stegodons. They have a lot of monsters in their armies right now. A little bit worrying. Cordoliberus, not doing much. Now, what's this Canine Assassin going to do? He did wound an Elven Mage the last turn. But he failed this turn to take on Teyra, which is the first Elven hero that Lothern starts with. Is he still alive? This is what I didn't want to happen. He's going to secure up, Marathi's going to come back, and then you're going to have to fight them both, Teclis, unless she goes to Taurus Share. So if you attack Elysia, just follow through and finish off Elysia. Don't hold back and then let yourself get trapped between mother and son. Especially that mother and son. They're both a little crazy.
This is Bretonia. I am its king.
Yeah, no. You kind of dug your own little hole there, Tretch. So no, we're not going to sign peace with you. You're so far away that it doesn't really matter. And it gives us the option of conquest when we stave off this chaos invasion. Cetra the Imperishable. Now, I'm wondering if the Tomb Kings are actually going to go hardcore to war with the Skaven of Clan Moors. Be nice to see them start to fight it out instead of this kind of undead rat Cold War. Alright, where's the Kemrian War things going? Kemri seems to be doing a lot right now. High Queen Khalida. Actually a really fun faction leader to play as, though her starting area is pretty tough to get out of. She starts in a minor settlement, not a capital. Lamia is the capital of the region, and ironically one of the birthplaces of the vampires. And Khalida hates vampires. I think I've gone over that story before, though. Now this is what I wanted to see. Carrick Ziflin, where are you sending your armies? Dwarves and water. Usually not a combination you'd think would match. But they're apparently going overseas. And now Tilean, the one we wanted to see. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name. I've had enough quote-unquote issues spelling out names in the last little week here. So I'm going to kind of ignore that. Is he going to try to attack Tobaro? No. He's going to go back to Miragliano. Miragliano? Miragliano? But now we can officially sue for peace with them and focus on the Chaos forces to the south. May not be able to defend it, but we will be able to avenge it. Yes, yes, I just made an Avengers quote. Okay, so one of our cities is under siege. Wonder if Eddie's going to get there in time. But they have started splitting up their chaos stacks. I'm hoping he goes south. Why can't you just go south and away from everything else? Whenever you guys gang up, it's bad for us. We knew some sacrifices would need to be made. But I know it's a little short, but that's probably a good place to end it for this week, guys. So if you liked the video, please consider hitting that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232, be part of the community, see yourself pop up in this or other Let's Plays, just hit that subscribe button. And make sure you turn your notifications on so you'll miss when a new video goes out. And remember, guys, life is a game, so play to win. And until next time, take care.